Hello. Dismiss. Just hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes. Do you need the moderator, Muhammad?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Okay. So I will ask the question, the student to write the questions on the chat.
Yes.
Because they are shy to take the mic. So this is why they are, maybe it's easier for them to write the questions. I'm the moderator, so I will give you the questions. Yeah.
We want that the student take the microphone and talk.
For sure, for sure. We encourage them to ask their own questions. So you can just write question mark, and I will give you. I will ask him to give you the mic. So either you put question mark on the chat, or if you are shy, you can just write your question.
Tuesday to closing.
What?
Maybe it's not me. I don't know.
For me also, I heard someone else. So I'm very happy to see you. Thank you, Salima. Happy also for all teachers to be close to us today in our workshop. Okay, so first of all, I'm very happy to see you, so many in this workshop, and this indicate that your goal is to improve your knowledge and skills. So I hope that you enjoy my workshop. My name is Mohammed Ziruk, as you know, Scrum Master, Oracle Certified Professional, Database and Mobile Programming in LaSalle College. So welcome to my workshop. Just to tell you, if to be able to participate in this workshop, you need to examine the PowerPoint. So I put the PowerPoint in the file folder in these Teams. Also, you need to download, there is a project called Workshop Retrofit Tech Week 2020. And you need to have Android Studio and Android Virtual Device started. So if it's not the case, so you can follow me, but you cannot do pure practice. So if you are in the fourth session, or if you have Android class, you can follow me. You can tape your code, enter your code. But if you are not in the fourth semester, you can follow what I'm going to do. Okay, so welcome and be comfortable. And if you have any question, let me know. So let's get started. So we start by sharing the PowerPoint on here. Is okay? Did you get it? Is there?
Yes, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay. So today is a subject about an introduction about Retrofit. So Retrofit is a framework. There is a lot of things to learn from it. So for me, I'm going to give you an introduction and how to use it. And if you want in the future, we can do other workshops on it. So what is the outline? So we start with a question. What is Retrofit? The app that we are going to build. Then what do we need to build an app that uses Retrofit? Then we jump to the practice. Are you okay? Hello?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, teacher.
Excellent. So what is Retrofit? Retrofit is a REST client for Android and Java. But this is not sufficient. When someone say to you is REST, for you is difficult to understand. Let's go to develop this point. First, it was developed by Square. REST, the meaning of REST is a representational state transfer. What it means by that, when you do a request to the web server, here we call it to the URI source, elicit a response from the web service in JSON or XML or other format. The meaning of that, you from your mobile device, you make a request to the web server, and the web server or web service present the result of the response in JSON format or in XML format or on other similar format. Okay, this is REST web service. For us, we are going to use REST client because the REST client will request the REST server. Why do we choose Retrofit? Because it makes networking calls to the web server very easy and allows to load data like transparent. Very easy to load data in different formats. Okay. So I summarize this with this picture. We have here in Android device, we have integrated Retrofit. Then we make a request to the web service. The web service will present the answer or the response in JSON format. Then we return it to the mobile device. Then it process it and return the result or display the result or do any operation for this result. Okay, the app that we are going to build consists to build one user interface. In this user interface, you have client information, client ID, we have edit text. Then we have here a text view where we see the name. We have an image. So when we click on the button load, we display all clients in the console. Okay, here we display them in the console. But when we enter the client ID and click on find, we display his name, then his picture. So all this information are stored in the web server and are requested by Retrofit REST client. Okay, so Retrofit REST client will request the REST web service. An example of a REST web service, this one that I built it, is a PHP code. What it does, it goes to the database and find the result or find the data and present the response in JSON format. So by the way, in our presentation or in our workshop, we are gonna use JSON. So we will have time or in another workshop we can do with XML or other format. So when I click here, you'll see this PHP file. When it runs, it returns the result in JSON format. Did you see the website? Hello?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, just I make sure because here I moved to another page.
No, we are seeing just the JSON object.
Yeah. This is what we need here.
Okay.
If I explain again, here we have the URL. The URL goes to the client.php. The client.php returns the data in JSON format, or it returns the data by following or by respecting REST service. The REST, I said, the REST service present the result in XML or JSON or other format. Okay. Next, so in our URL, we need to define two major things or major parts. The first part here, it's called the base URL without the PHP file. And the second part, it's called the endpoint. So you see when we request the web server, web service, the result is in JSON. It's like this. And here we have the root or the node, the up node, and here we have different entries. Client entry 0 for this client, entry 1, and entry 2. For entry 1, entry 0, entry 1, or entry 2, we have client ID, client name, client age, and picture. And you need to take in consideration these keys. Okay, now in JSON we have a couple of values, a couple of pairs, value, key and value. What do we need to build an app that uses retrofit? Okay, so we said the first point is the web service. The second point, or the second thing that is important, is the permissions and libraries. The permissions, we need the internet permission, and we'll see how to integrate the internet permission inside your Android application. And retrofit libraries, we'll see how to integrate them into our project. So this is the second point. The third point, that what we need to create this, or to follow the application structure, or to create classes, interfaces, retrofit builder, and complete the controller. Okay, so for Java classes, we have to follow certain rules. The same thing for the interfaces and the retrofit builder class and the controller. So let's continue to see how we should build our class in order to use a retrofit REST client. Okay, so the class that correspond to the data. You create class, your data is like this. Now you remember, when we request the web service, it returns to us different clients, and each client has client ID, client name, client age, and picture. Okay, our class should look like this. The attributes, you know, for each class you define attribute. Define the attribute that you need to add them in your class. If you have here 100 of keys, it doesn't mean you should put 100 of attributes. You put the attribute that you need, but you should write before the attribute this annotation, serialized name with annotation. For example, here ID, I want to connect it to client ID. Say serialized name, client ID, and so on. So for that, retrofit knows how to read the data from your web service. So this is the class and this is the rule. Don't forget, we need to add this serialized name for the attribute that we need to process in my class. The second is the interface. The interface, you know what is an interface in Java or in another language? There is no code, there is no, just we have the prototype. The interface starts with, for our case, our example, we are going to make a request to the web service. So it starts by @get the endpoint. This is, you remember, this is the endpoint. Okay. Then we have a callback method that we need to add, and this method will receive the data. Okay, or this method will go to web service and returns the data. And don't forget, here you need to mention the class that you want to add. Okay, so this is for this second create an interface. I said first we have class for the application structure, second interface. Number 3, you should create a retrofit builder class. The retrofit builder class, it looks like this. So there is no lot of changes. You need to just on the beginning here to position your base URL. You remember base URL here. This is the base URL. You need to mention here. Then in summary, this class, what it does, we provide to this class the base URL we have here JSON converter. In order to access to the web service and to grab data and to transform data to objects. Okay, these things, it's done automatically. You don't need to use JSON object, or you don't need to use JSON array. In other languages we do that, but here just JSON converter factory does this automatically. And this is, and if you see here, I don't know if you learn it in design pattern, this is a singleton method or singleton class. You see here we check if retrofit equal null, we create an instance. If it's not equal null, we keep it, we use it, we reuse it. Okay. Then the last point or last application structure is the controller. Okay, with Android, we work by default in MVC, model view controller. So we should do some declarations. We declare an initialize object. We should implement the interface on click listener in order to manipulate the buttons. And you see in the user interface, we have the button load and the button find. We need to manipulate them. Implement the interface callback, this interface that goes to connect to the web service and to return the result. So when it returns the result, there is a response for that. So for us to invoke the callback method, we use the button load. And you remember, button load goes to the web service and returns data. So the method load request all data from the web service. The response is returned in method, and if there is any error, we have, for example, we have network failure connection, so we will grab this in on failure method. The method find, what it does, it goes to find a specific data. In our situation, we find that's a given client. So the same thing, we do a request to the web service, and we will have a response and a failure method. So after that, we need to complete the response and the failure method in the controller. So that's it about the presentation, what we're gonna do, what is retrofit and what is used for. So just if you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, we can move directly to the practice.
Right now, there is no question on the chat, but I'm inviting all the students to write their question.
Yeah, if there's question, we can answer now. Otherwise, we can go through the practice and you'll see.
Maybe after the practice.
Okay, yeah. Maybe after, yeah, sure. So let me check here. So, okay. Now, if you just, I want to check how many students are using Android. Please raise your hand. The students that are right now using Android. Excellent. Excellent. Go. So let me, okay, let me say to you what you should do, because I put the file, I put the project in Teams. So you can unzip this file, unzip this project. Then after that, go to the menu, File, then click Open.
Maybe, Mohammed, you can just give them, please, a few minutes to go to the Files section and download the file.
No problem.
Thank you.
For me, I want to take water. Hello, Nariman. How are you?
Hello, I'm very good, thank you. I wished you good luck at the beginning, but I didn't want to interrupt you. It's great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and hope that the student will enjoy and will learn, because our goal is for us is the student will improve their knowledge and skills, and we see them in the industry.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Muhammad.
You're welcome.
It's always enriching your workshops.
Thank you. So just let me know when you are ready.
I downloaded it, Mohammed, but so I don't know if the student.
It's not a big file.
Yeah, they said that they are done. I have only one comment. They said they are done.
Okay.
So maybe you can continue, yeah.
Yeah, so just for them, if they want to follow me, just they need to, the mobile student, they know that. So click File, Open, then find your project. Okay, and to find the project that you zip it. The project name is Workshop Retrofit Tech Week 2020. Just I want to put them in the context to see the UI, to see what is built for now, something that I added because is not difficult to do it, like the building this UI or adding permissions or adding libraries. Then we need after that to go through the code and explain the different methods. Did you finish?
2 minutes, just 2 minutes maybe, because I'm loading at the same time, like the student, to see how long it takes.
Yeah.
And the project is still loading. Android Studio is still loading the project. It takes time to open a project?
No.
No?
No.
Okay. How about you guys? Are you done with opening the project? Jonathan said finished, but I don't know he finished the open. Yeah? The students said they open it, so you can go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. And just you need to see what is done here and what we need to do after that. So what is done is this user interface. You see it here. So if you are in Android class, you know what is this user interface and how to build it. If are not, this user interface, there is the code that behind this. There is XML code, and this is correspond to the different controls. In Android, we call them widgets. So here you have the design, you have the split. You can split from the design to the code, and so on. In the right side, we have the emulator. And here, when we click on Run on this button, we run our application. So run your application to see what it looks like. Okay, so here we can make it bigger, we can make it smaller according to our work. Okay, so if you want to increase this size or want to go to the design is different. We have different views. So this is the user interface that is done. And there is a file in the left side in the Project Explorer here. There is Project Explorer. There is a file called manifest. And the manifest is the place where you should put the permissions. So here on the top, you have internet permission. Just you need to build like this. For me, I don't want to spend time adding permission, adding libraries, and this probably my project will take more than 2 hours, and I'm afraid of that. So for me, just use permissions here. If for any other situation or any other opportunity, I can show you how to add them. So this, and in this part called Gradle that takes some configuration variables, and when we click on the build.gradle, we'll see on the bottom here dependencies and some required libraries. These libraries are added automatically when you create a new project, and these libraries we need them for our project. The first two libraries, these are Retrofit, and you see them in or you saw them in the presentation. Then this library, we are going to use it to load the image. This library belongs to Square company, and this library called Picasso. So this is what I did for my project. So let's jump. What is next? Are you ready? Just if you are ready, you are shy, just you can raise your hand. Okay, just to see you if you are ready. Excellent. So if you are ready, let's go. First step. First step is to create classes. Great. Okay, so classes. So and set Android is by default, it's built for MVC, model view controller. So it's click on Java, right click, new package. Then make sure that you are in app src main Java. Here, the place when we can create the packages. Then click OK to create the model package. We enter the package called model, and you see it here. It's created, the package model. After that, we need to create the class called client. Let me know if I'm going fast, right? Just say, enter a message in this chat, say to me, slow please, or something like that. Model, right click, new Java class. Then we enter the class. I said here, we need to model our classes in order to meet the web service. The first class is called client. Okay. Then we can create the code, corresponding code. Okay, so we said here we need serialized the different attributes. So we start with @ serialize name. Then we enter the name client ID. I try to be not fast in order to let students to continue. Then, without anything, you get an error. You need to add here private int client ID or ID. Okay, so I repeat the meaning of that. It means this ID from this class will be mapped with client ID in the web service. Okay, so if I have here, I need to see where is my web service. Just I want to add it again to display it again. Easy to go. it is. So I add this here. And client.php, and this is our web service. Okay, so we need to meet the keys. Client ID here, the key. Okay, we don't need to check the value. The value we need to just grab it in our application. So here, each entry like this. Okay, and we have a node which represent all entries. It's like a list. So we need to create here two classes. One class is client, other class we call list of client, right? So let's go to the second attribute. So we can do it this fast. Same thing, we can do copy paste. When you do copy paste, please, you need to verify everything. Don't do copy paste without modification. Client name and name. Then client name, then client age. Then age. And last, we have a picture. And picture. So this is our attributes. Just make sure that you have this, okay, and this with this. So in case if you don't see or you don't access to this web service or you forget the path, is in the chat. You can take it from the chat, right? So after doing this, you know what you should do: create constructor, getters, setters, toString, and equals. The different methods for, or the basic methods for each class. So go to constructor code, then generate constructor. The constructor we generated with all attributes. Like this.
Ahmed, there is a message.
Yes.
Jonathan said he got lost, so maybe
I'm going fast.
Someone got lost. A student. He's asking why name is int. Maybe you didn't change the proper the type?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, name is not int. String. Not get lost. Sorry.
No. Even the constructor.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to erase the constructor.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. So this is my fault, because when we do copy paste, we will have this kind of errors. So thank you for that. And after that, I need to create constructor ID int, name int, age int, name is string, age int, and string for picture. Code generate constructor. And this is the constructor. Then we need to build an empty constructor. Generate constructor, an empty constructor. Is it okay? After that, we need to override toString. Go to code, override toString. And toString here, we want that the output will display the name, the ID, name, age, and picture. So return ID plus ID plus name space plus name, age, age, and plus picture. The picture is string, so say picture plus picture. So return this. So when we go to this to find data from the web service and display object, we'll display this. So after that, we need to add the method equals. This allows us to find an object, or to find a given client. So if I'm not going fast, can continue. Here to see it, go to code, then override equals. So as I said, the method equals allows us to compare between two objects and to return true or false. So it returns true if the two objects are equals, false if not. And this allows us to, when you find an object, allow us to say if the object is here or not. So put here client equal client object, the object in the parameter. Then if ID, the current object, is client.getID, there is something wrong here. ID. Think here get ID is correct. Sorry, I didn't add getters and setters, so I need to add getters and setters after that. So return true, else return false. So even is red, just when we add the getters and setters, we work. So we go to code, generate getters and setters, and we select all of them, all these attributes. And you see here, the get ID is become black, or become recognizable by this instruction. So no question. If in summary here we add different attributes, then constructor, getters, setters, toString, and equals. No question. Can move on.
So far so good. There is no question.
So just here, what is the special is to serialize the attribute with the key in the response. So the class client is created. Now we need to create a class list of clients that represent this list. We have a list. So you need to follow the response. Okay, if there is one object, just create one class. If there is an object and the list, or list of objects, you need to create a second class. Okay. Okay, so model, right click, new Java class. And we call this class list of clients. List of clients. Because we have a list, so we can suggest to create an array list for that, or to receive the data in the array list. Say private private array list. Client. List of clients. List of clients. You see here we need to import the package array list. So the package is here, is imported, and we need to precede this attribute with a serialized clients. Serialized name with clients. Sorry, there is no semicolon. Then we continue adding constructor, getters, setters, and toString. Over generate constructor. Code generate getters and setters. And after that, we override the method toString. Override the method toString to return the object. Is it okay? So next.
There is no question, Mohammed.
Okay.
Thank you.
I do every time I do like this. I want the student say something. Okay. So if it's okay, it's okay. Thank you. So I can continue now with the interface. I need to create an interface. I create the classes. So if you return to the PowerPoint, you need to create the interface that defines the endpoint. New Java class. To create an interface, you need to select Java class. Then after that, we select interface. The interface, we call it get all client service. Get all clients service. So need to define the endpoint like get. Then the endpoint is client.php. Then we need to define the callback method, the method that connect to the web service and request the data. List of clients. List of clients. We need to import this callback method, and we add the method all get all data. Okay, so I need to change the interface because here it says something. I need to go to refactor, change C to uppercase. Okay, so in summary, the interface, what it does, it asks us for the endpoint. I repeat, the endpoint is this, client.php. So what you see at the end of your URL, the file, the PHP file, or any other file, maybe is ASP file or any other language. And here, your callback method. there is a keyword in Android called call, and the callback should be returned in this format or this class list of clients. Okay. So we finish with this interface. Let's see now the retrofit instance or retrofit class that asks us for the base URL. Just I can give you a moment if you have question, if you finish or no.
Please write your comment on the chat if you are done or if you have any question. I'm asking the students to participate because I don't have any feedback.
Yeah, okay.
Mohammed, I want to thank you for introducing some really interesting concepts to the students, that you're doing this live and refactoring the code so they see that this is absolutely a normal process we through, and that you're using those technical terminologies. I really like that. Thank you. I just wanted to give you my feedback.
Thank you very much. So just to say to the students, when we do a project, it's possible to have some errors, it's possible to have some missing things. This is normal. Okay, and after that, what is interesting, what is important is to arrive to correct this.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Yeah.
So after creating the interface and two classes, we move to create the instance class retrofit, the class that defines the converter and defines for us the base URL. So we select a model, we still model interface, model package, Java class, and here we call it retrofit instance. Retrofit instance. We start by defining the different attribute of this class. Private static retrofit. We have here the retrofit REST client. We call the attribute retrofit. Private static final string. And here, final string, we call it base URL.
Mohammed, we have a question. Can I stop you now? Someone said, I just got a question, why we are creating different classes separately in the model? Thank you.
Why we are doing?
We are creating different classes separately in the model.
Okay. So the first thing is we need to, after that, if we want to manipulate the same class in another project, you can use it. This one and the second thing is not a good solution to put everything in the main activity. We go here and you put everything you need to put this. This is, we are not following, with this way, you are not following MVC. MVC is model view controller. Main activity, what it does is communicate with the user interface. The model, it communicates with, for example, database, or it communicate with the web service and so on. Okay. So we return to our retrofit. And here we have base URL. And let me go to the website to bring the base URL. Is this one? Control C, Control V. Okay, so this is the base URL, and in the retrofit instance, you should put this. This is like a rule, and in the interface, we put the endpoints. And in the main activity, you will see we put them together in order to grab data from the web service. So we create the singleton instance, public static retrofit get retrofit instance. So, and in here, we need to check if this attribute, retrofit, if a retrofit is null, it means this is the first use of this class. If retrofit is null, say retrofit equal new retrofit class dot builder. Let me put them here. Dot builder dot base URL, and we provide here the base URL dot add converter factory. And here we need to provide the converter that correspond to the response. And the response here is in JSON. So the converter should be JSON converter factory dot create. Then dot build semicolon. Then after that, here we need to return retrofit. So we say return retrofit. Okay, so only one use from retrofit class. Okay, and this is one of characteristics of design pattern, singleton instance.
So please give a minute to the student to finish copy this code.
No problem.
And you guys, please give me a sign on the chat if you are done. Thank you.
So if the student want to take break, we can take break 10 minutes if they want.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, just we close 1 hour if they need a break. So here we finish all classes on interface. Just what we need to is to complete the controller.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes.
I just joined the room. I just wanted to know, this is building an application with Java, right?
With Android.
Android, okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay,
so please, yeah, I'm just asking the student, if you need a break, let me know, so we gonna know what's. So please answer on the chat or take the mic. No break?
Let's go to do a main activity, do some initialization, then we take a break after. I think
you said take a break. Sounds good. So we give them 10 minutes? 10 minutes, Mohammed? Good?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have 10 minutes. We come back at 3:35 max, so we don't miss it. So we have 10 minutes break.
Excellent.
At the same time, we give time to the others to copy the code.
No problem. If they have problem after that, the code will be available in Teams.
Thank you so much.
Also, the video, we will provide you the video.
So Mohammed, how long the next part is? You have enough time?
Normally I'm in on time.
Okay.
So, but probably 1 hour or 1 hour and 10 minutes maximum.
Okay. So the break doesn't bother you, the break?
No, but I want that the student take break. For me, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
For me, I can continue. But I want... Yeah.
Est-ce que tu vas dépasser 4 heures?
Yes.
J'ai un cours à 4 heures. J'ai libéré les élèves, mais 4 heures, on doit reprendre.
Okay, no problem. You can...
Donc, je dois quitter 4 heures. Merci.
Ouais. Okay, merci, Haria.
They can access to the recording anyway. At least they follow the first part, so they can continue on their own now.
Yes.
There is no workshop after yours, huh? So
No.
So it's okay. I guess you can have an overtime, just in case.
No, normally I finish at 4:30.
Okay, good.
How many students I had before break?
I didn't see the total.
77.
Wow.
Yes.
No.
Highest score.
Oh,
Score.
but they went to the break, or I don't know. I'm not here.
But still, you have 77 attendees? No, 7 presenters and 76 attendees. So this makes 83. Yeah.
Okay.
In total, everybody in total is 83.
But not all of them, they have Android, I think. I know.
I asked my students to install it.
Okay. I bring them the link and the installation video and everything. I don't know if they did that,
but they don't follow the schedule on the website. That's what I noticed. So this is why I sent them a mail with a schedule, with a time and the link for the installation. I hope they all installed it before the workshop.
Okay.
Mr. Fode, he said he wanna follow. You continue.
No problem.
He don't need a break. He don't need a break.
Yes. Thank you.
2 minutes left and we continue, guys. Hurry up. And if you are all here, just let me know. We can start right now.
Yes, yes.
Me, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
No problem. Come on. Come on.
Salut, Mohamed. Hey, good job.
Merci.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm waiting, all right?
How many years takes you to be expert in Android?
I'm not expert.
Yeah, you are.
I'm not expert. Thank you very much, but this take a lot of time. I started in 2013.
Wow, amazing.
Okay.
Wow.
2013, and there is a new thing.
For sure, of course.
If I showed you how we did it before this requesting a web service, you see how long it is. It is with Android classes. Very, very huge code.
One of my students did a project like this for stage, and he used GSP requests.
Yeah,
from Android, and to send a request to PHP that was on a server, and then the PHP app was updating the database on MySQL, and then it retrieved the data through and send it with a request again to the Android app. But it was it was huge.
Yeah, because I taught it in 2014 when we started with the mobile group. There is a class in Android called async task. If you see here, the retrofit is one line. What is this? Is one line. And you see here we have JSON converter. All this conversion, we do it by code. Here JSON convert and returns your object. But we did it before with the Android classes. We did the conversion. We have JSON array, JSON object. We do it like saying to you, we want to extract from a string. We want to extract different words. Okay, so we do it like manually.
Sorry to interrupt you, but it's time to continue because thank you.
Welcome. So we continue, right? Where we are, okay. So now we move to the main activity, because we finished for all classes. I think I finished here. The last class was retrofit. So the main activity now, or the controller. So in the controller here, we need to define first the attribute. The attributes are already defined. So already I added in in the declaration part. So just we need to declare the array list. The array list was based on the class client. So we add the array list, Alt Enter. Then here we have the URL picture. And if you want to see this, what we can do with this URL picture, that we take it from here, Control C, then Control V, and we put here picture1.png, and we see the picture. And this is the picture that we're gonna read from the web service. Okay, so after declaring this object, I need to initialize them, initialize the different objects. So we moved here to initialize method, edit text client ID equal find view by ID r.id.edit text client ID. The meaning of this is to make a link between the object in Java class and this, it's called the widget in the activity in activity main.xml file, which is here. To make a link between edit text client ID. Okay, so whenever we want to manipulate any widget, we need to make a link between the object and the widget. The client name, find view by ID, find view by ID, r.id.tv client name, and find view by ID. So we do the same thing, r.id.btn find, btn load, btn load, and IV picture, image view picture is find view by ID r.id.iv picture. You see here one of interesting things is to do the same codification. Okay, with the object and the widget. So after that, we need to implement interface on click listener, because here we want to manipulate these buttons. I want to go click on load and click on find. So to make this functional, we need to implement the interface on click listener. The interface here is implemented. Then we need to enable the listening to the button click by doing btn find dot set on click listener. Is the meanings this object in this activity, btn load dot set on click listener this. Okay, so this is what we should do in initialize. And you see here in my main activity, I divide every single thing with different code, different methods. It's important to divide this in order to, if you want to reuse them in the future or in the same application. Okay, then after that, if you finish this, I don't know. I can
there
move
is no
to,
question. Yeah, there is no question.
So I can move to the method on click. Here the code is already added. What it does, here we get the ID from which button we click. We say here int ID view.getID. Then we check if this corresponds to the button load, which this button go to load data. So we request data, method called request data. And when we click on the button find, we go to the method find one client. And then we'll see each method what it does. Okay, so now request data is here, is empty. There is no code. And here you see how to request the web service. Okay, so when we, if you want, when we click on the button load, this goes to the web service and ask for the data. And this may take time. So for that, I add a progress dialog, just a short window that displays in your mobile device and say we are doing the or are finding data progressively. So we have here progress dialog, equal new is new, sorry. New progress dialog with main activity with this new progress. Okay. I think I forget something here. Progress dialog with this. Then progress dialog dot set message. And loading clients in progress. And progress dialog dot show. This is the beginning. It displays the progress dialog until we find data. Then now we need to invoke the interface. Get all client service equal retrofit instance class from the class retrofit, then get retrofit instance, the method from the class retrofit dot it here and dot create get all client service dot class. This instruction allows to invoke the web service. You see here in the retrofit instance, we return the base URL. And get all client service, we return, if you want, the endpoint. Then we make a call. Call list of clients. List of clients. We need to add this. Call equals service dot get all data. Okay. So here, when we get all data, we can receive data in the method called enqueue. Call dot enqueue this. And in here we have this like this error, because this enqueue will return the data in the method on response or the error in the method on failure. So for that, we need to implement the interface call, the interface that we have here, call all clients. So we go in on the top here, comma, have the callback method, callback list of clients. Alt enter. Then again Alt enter to implement the method on response and on failure. So the two methods are retrieved here, are added here. And you see here there is no error. So I can repeat if you want. If you see that is difficult, you go here on the top, you implement the interface callback list of client, because we want to return the data of all clients. Then Alt enter to implement the method on response on failure. Okay, and with this, we need to go now to on response.
Maybe just 2 minutes, Mohammed. We ask the students.
Yeah.
So please, are you done? Let me know.
If you are done.
Or we wait a few minutes. Maybe they are still typing the code.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone said he's done. Okay.
Okay. Excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So I guess you can continue, Mohammed. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. What we said here on response, it means we have a response from the web service. On failure, there is an error. For example, network connection, or data not available, or some lag in the network. So we receive the error and can here display this error. So we can, if we have error, say we have a class called toast. Say toast dot make text this, say t dot get message, and this will give us the error message. Then we will have here the duration of the toast dot length long dot true. So for the response, so whenever we receive the response, we need to stop if you want this, the progress dialog, say here, dismiss. After that, the response is stored in the response. The type is list of clients. So, and after that, we can display them. So for that, we need here, instead of typing the code here, entering the code here, we say here display result. The method display result, and we pass to this method the response. Okay, so we type Alt Enter. We add the method display results.
So please, guys, if you need a minute to copy the code, let me know. If you are done also, let me know. Thank you.
So after that, I need to list of clients. The result is here. Is a response. The response, the type is list of clients. So we can say list of client equal response dot body dot at list of clients. That list of clients that belongs to the class list of clients. Then for each to display the clients one by one. For client one client, a list of clients. We display them in the console. Let me show you how to display them in the console. Log.d. We add here the tag called Retrofit. And click comma. And add here one client dot toString. And one client dot toString goes to the class client and use the corresponding toString. And the corresponding toString display name, ID, name, age, and picture. I need to add semicolon here. So we add, I don't know if they finish or they have any question.
I don't have any comment for now.
Okay, so I need to create the filter or the tag Retrofit here in the console. This is my console of Rockcat. Okay, I know some students, they learn with me list view, so they can from here take this information, this array list, and add it to list view and display it. And this for me take a lot of time. That's why I'm going to display them in the Logcat. So we click here, edit filter configuration, then we add the filter. We call it here Retrofit. click enter. Then now we can check the app because the button is ready. We made a request to the web service. So let's try. And what happened? Then we click enter. After clicking enter, you see here the data, right? Let's see the data that, where is my website? That is here. This is my web service. And this is data that are grabbed in Android device. Okay.
So please, guys, give me feedback. Are you done? Do you need time to type the code? Yes. So some students, they said they are done.
Excellent. Did you check your code? So, Ali Reza, thank you. Excellent. So with that, you see how we retrieve data, right? Or how we grab data from the web service. Okay. So now, just here, need to focus on this. This is very important, right? This goes to request the web service through the interface and the Retrofit class. The interface give us the endpoint, which is the client.php, and the Retrofit give us the base URL and the converter. Our data are stored in JSON, so we need to provide JSON converter. Is it okay? So let's move on. Let's continue. Now, if you don't have any question, we need to program the second part, which is when we enter client ID and click on OK or click on find, we find the name. If we enter, for example, 100, we find the name Ali. Then we find the corresponding picture, which is picture1.png, and picture1.png is this that I showed you here. We have here, I put just 3 pictures, but we can put many pictures to your website, in your website. Okay, let's go continue. So we need to process with the same steps. When we grab many data, we create interface called with this endpoint client.php. Now we have to query another file called one client.php question mark ID equal 100. If we type this, if we enter this, this gives you the client 100. Or if I enter 200, it gives you the client 200 and so on. Okay, and you see here there is some changes. Some is not like endpoint, it's endpoint with a query, right? So we need to adjust our endpoint here. So for that, I need to create interface called client or get one client service. New Java class, we mentioned interface, get one client service. Okay, so how should look like the if you want the endpoint? The endpoint is one client. Let me check. It should be the same. Otherwise, one client I would see uppercase. So one client dot PHP, then question mark. This is, if you want, this is the syntax. If you want to query with, if you want to query web service with introduce some data in the file. Then we have here call, the callback method with client class. We need to return one client, right? So it's not list of client, is one class. All right, is class client, is not list of client. So call client get alt enter. Alt enter to add the package that then get one client data.
I have a question, Mohammed. Someone said one client is a keyword.
No. One client is, if you want, is because we are manipulating the clients. So the methods should refer to this client. If I have list of client, I'm not going to say is list of, I don't know, list of cars or list of person, right? We need to mention the same as client class. Yes.
I guess he's talking about one client.php because the way he writing it is like one client. You can check the chat, please check the chat.
Okay, let me check the chat. Okay. No, one client is not a keyword. In the websites, if you talk about in websites, here my file, my PHP file called one client.php. And I should enter one client.php. Okay. Is it clear? Just let me give me an answer.
This is a file name. It's a PHP file name. Thank you.
Yeah, it is a file name.
Yeah.
When you create a file, and for me, I put it one client.php because I'm finding one client from the list of clients, from the table client. So excellent. Let's go here, return here, get what client data, and how it should be we should enter here a query. It's not like the preceding interface. You should enter here query, then ID, because the ID, it comes from PHP, then string ID. The meaning of this, when we query, this ID is from the PHP file, right? This is ID. I cannot query with another thing. And this is what we're gonna use in Java class. Okay, what we're gonna assign in Java class. Okay, so this is the how, if you want how to query a given data, not all. Okay, if it's okay with this, just give you 1 minute or to finish this. Then we move to the main activity to find one client.
Please, if you are done, just write it on the chat, please. Thank you.
Okay, they said done. So let's go to the main activity, or return to the main activity. And here we have find one client. Okay, so this is request data. So let's take this, the two instructions or two methods from here and put them just close to request data. Find one client. So we do the same steps if you want, like request. We do here, if you want, we add the process dialog in order to find one client. The add, instead of adding add all client service, we need to say get one client service. Okay, so we do copy paste of this, same instructions. And sometimes it's not necessary because we find one, and one is not doesn't take a lot of time, but just keep it here just in mind in case. So get one client service, get one client service, one client service, we call it this, then equal retrofit instance dot get retrofit instance. Let's put it here. I like when we have this different methods, I like to put them together in case we have problem, we can debug it quickly. Get retrofit instance dot create with get one client service, get what client service dot class, or the runtime of the class, what get what one client. Then we made a call with client, class client, because we need to receive one client, it's not list of clients, and one client service all equal one client service dot get one client data. Then we need to provide the information. We need to provide the ID that we enter here. The ID that we enter in the client ID in the UI is edit text ID dot get text dot toString. So this is the ID that is in get one client service. What is get one client service? This is the ID, right? Main activity. Now we here we create a call, then we made a call call.enqueue. Then we need to provide, not like the preceding was this activity, and we cannot implement the many callback in our application. We could have just implement only one callback. So one callback is the main activity in a class level, and one callback we added, we say an inner callback here. Inner, it means inside the find one client. Okay, inner callback, just we can put new callback with client. Then you automatically receive on response on failure. If you want to repeat, I can repeat it. Android, one of interesting in Android, we have auto-completed code. Okay, just if I take it out this, then say again enqueue, then new client. I don't need to type all code. Enter auto completion code. Okay, so this is for one client, the different callback methods. On response, on failure, same thing. On failure, you can add a toast. A toast dot make text this, comma t dot, sorry, probably is not visible for you. Type enter here. Then t dot get message. Sorry, I forget the last parameter. Comma toast dot length long dot show. So we have here something is not good. I can change this to main activity dot this. Main activity dot this. So inner class doesn't recognize this or the current object. So in inner class, you need to specify which class are you using. Here class is main activity. So the response is here in the response. So we can receive this. Say client equal response dot body. Then we'll have text view client name dot set text c dot get name. So the answer is, or the response is this part of JSON. So we convert it to the class client. Then we check the client, or we display client.getName in the text view name here. So let's check the result. So we enter the client 100, client 100, and click OK. So we go, because here we didn't close the problem, I didn't close the progress bar. The progress dialog. So I need to close it here. Dot dismiss. So we run again. We enter the client 100. Click find, and you see here the name. We enter the second client 200. You click find, you find the second name. The last thing is the picture. Okay, to find the client picture. The client picture, we find it using a library called Picasso.
Maybe Mohammed, sorry, just I asked the student if they need a minute to finish their code. So are you done, guys? Just give us some feedback, or can he continue?
Okay.
They are done. Good. Thank you.
Excellent. So the last thing I said is the picture. So say here string picture equals c.getPicture. Then we apply Picasso library. So Picasso dot width. Here we define the width, which activity we gonna use with main activity.java. Main activity dot this. Then load, which picture we gonna load. So load URL picture plus get picture, c.getPicture or plus picture. This, then during the load, when we load the picture, which picture we should display instead? This is called the placeholder. The placeholder is r.drawable.loading. Which image view we gonna load this picture? Say into image view picture. Okay, so this is how it works with the library Picasso. So the width is which activity you want, or which activity use this picture. When you say load, which picture you want to load is from URL picture. It's from the top. I define it there, here on the top. This is the URL picture. Then I need to add the picture name. Then which placeholder? Placeholder is the picture that is displayed during the loading, is called loading here. You see here loading that picture. Then where we gonna load finally the picture is IV picture, which is this. So let's see. So we enter the client 100 and click find. And this is the picture. We enter the client 200. We click find, and this is the picture. Client 300 find, and this is the picture. So if they have any question,
for now,
in my side, I finish everything. So I explain the web service and how to consume the data in the web service, even if the data. Thank you, Kao. How to consume the data from the web service, even if the data is like Scholar data, or if the data is a picture or any PDF document, you can do it.
So guys, please give us some comments, questions on the chats.
Yeah, any question, any comment, any?
If you want to take the mic, just put the question mark.
Thank you, Park. Thank you, all of you.
Please do not hesitate to ask any question. Did you fully understand this workshop?
We're gonna ask them in the class to do the same project.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna provide to them the other activities, similar activities. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank you. Thank you, Nariman. Thank you, Salima.
Thank you.
You helped me a lot. Thank you.
It's always great pleasure to work with you.
Oh, thank you very much. I was wondering who gonna help me, who gonna do more moderation.
You can always ask me. I'm always ready. Don't worry.
Thank you. I don't know if you had a class or not. That's why
I invited I invited my students. I bring them here, and we're gonna catch up our class hours in the coming weeks. But most of my students, they are following your workshop.
Excellent, excellent. Our goal, our objective is to see them in the industry, to see them working and are happy. Okay.
Thank you so much.
So I don't know what if they have any question. For me, in my side, I finish. The project is finished, and this project, I think the video Int will provide you this video, and if you have any question, I can answer to you, or I don't know.
Thank you so much, Mohammed.
You're welcome. Thank you, Nariman.
I think that if we're done with the questions, we can wrap it up.
Yeah.
The recording, as soon as the meeting is finished, will be available for everybody in the group.
Okay.
So don't worry about that.
Thank you. Thank you for the administration side. That are doing a great work.
Yes, they are always in the background, permitting people into the workshops, because we get so many requests still till today, and fixing any technical issues, and they're doing a wonderful job. So thanks for acknowledging that, Mohammed. Thank you, Salima, for helping Mohammed out with the moderation as well. All the teachers for attending.
Yeah.
And for the students who are still here, don't forget tomorrow is our last day. The schedule is up on the website. We've got 3 tech talks back to back in the morning. Then we have a workshop by Dara in the afternoon, and then we have a closing ceremony. So
I have a question, Nariman.
Yeah.
Do these recordings stay after? Does it expire or no? The recordings.
Yes. By default, they expire within 21 days.
So can we download the MP4 file? Because we don't have access. I tried, but
no, this has to do with the Microsoft solution. You will have to, if you want your workshop to stay, I think you can download it onto your computer to watch it. But if you want it to stay in the group, in the channel, you're going to have to request officially from another network who's responsible for managing the Microsoft side of things to keep it more than 21 days.
Maybe, but because I tried to download my workshop, some students requested the recording for me. I told them it's available on the channel, go watch it there. But still, if it expires, they will not have access anymore after 20 days. So I sent an email to Daniel. I don't know if just a message, private message. I don't know if he see it or not.
It's Daniel who?
He's from team Int. Yeah.
Yes, Salima.
No.
Hello.
It's not Int responsible for that, Salima. It's at the LCI network that has to do with the recordings lifespan on Teams.
No, but
we can
download
another solution to keep it alive.
Yeah, or just download it, give us the MP4, because I couldn't download the file on the disk.
Okay. We can talk about that and maybe like later more privately and announce it to the students if we find a solution for sure. If you reached out to Daniel or the team, I'm sure they'll handle it.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Okay, thank you guys. And also don't forget the game tournament on Saturday. If you are into games, this is your opportunity to register and just have fun, break your routine and enjoy yourselves. Maybe some teachers will show up, so you'll have the pleasure of playing against them as well. And there's $80 to win, so it's a good opportunity. I'm sure Mr. Kao is going to come and play. and play, and he's going to have a secret identity. So watch out, guys, for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so good night, everybody. I'm out. So if you still want to hang around, feel free to do so.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Muhammad. I think it's time for you to get some rest.
Yeah, I know. So thank you all. Thank you all teachers. Thank you students. And see you in other opportunity.
Wonderful.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, Salima, again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.